in this pursuit a ways back now, as they had to give him a little bit of space when he jumped off the freeway unexpectedly, went over a gore point and almost went down an embankment, but anyways, ended up back on the freeway. They were able to catch up now. You can see an airship overhead as well with the night sun on that small compact vehicle believed to be a Grand Theft Auto suspect behind the wheel. Very difficult to see inside this car. Unclear whether there's anybody else in there with him, but as you can see, even from this passenger side view, those windows are heavily tinted, and I cannot quite make out the make and model of this vehicle just yet, but we're going to try and work on that here in the next few minutes as we continue westbound along the 10 freeway, coming now away from Rosemead. Is that a Porsche, Rob? Okay. Yeah. Okay. My eyes were playing tricks on me for a second. Vehicle moving over to the express lanes. Very little traffic, light traffic all the way as he continues in the westbound direction. Eastbound traffic much heavier, so he's going to enjoy quite a bit of latitude here on the westbound side of the freeway. LAPD, again, not too far back. They do have a visual. They are about 5 or 6 units strong, and that airship calling out the location of this pursuit as he makes his way back into East LA. Picking up a little bit of speed here, all the way over to the left lane, getting closer to the 710 freeway here in the next mile or so. You can see it appears to be an older model compact Toyota. A little bit of front end damage there, unclear when that occurred. Again, this is believed to be a stolen vehicle according to LAPD. They are treating this as a Grand Theft Auto suspect, but it is unclear whether there's anybody else inside the car other than the driver. Also not sure exactly how they found this or how this started, trying to gather those details as we continue westbound towards the 710 freeway here, westbound on the 10. He's going to have a decision to make here, and judging by his lane shifting here, it looks like he might be thinking of possibly getting off the 10 freeway. We'll see what happens here. He's got a ramp coming up in just about a quarter mile. He is in the interchange now. I believe he is committing to the 10 freeway. Once again, if you're just joining us on ABC7.com, you are continuing to watch our live coverage of an LAPD pursuit along the 10 freeway here, westbound on the 10, just past the 710 freeway into the East LA area, refusing to pull over. Again, it's a stolen vehicle. Actually appears to be an older model Kia, possibly, and we're just trying to get the exact make and model, but it does look like an older car with some front-end damage there. They have the night sun on them there. You can see a handful of LAPD units dedicated to this pursuit, staying about a couple of football fields behind him. That appears to be intentional at this point. They are giving him some distance here as he picks up speed. Also not exactly sure where this started, but it appears to have started in the downtown or near downtown LA, in that general area. These are all still LAPD Central Division units in pursuit here. There is talk of handing this off to the California Highway Patrol. As far as I'm aware, that handoff has not taken place yet, but you can see that LAPD airship right overhead here, aiming that night sun squarely towards the passenger side of the vehicle as he continues westbound now in the middle of the East LA interchange. Possibly he's getting off here. He has transitioned. Getting off the freeway, underneath the freeway, now going south underneath the East LA interchange. Trying to get this street here. He's turned south off of the freeway, now riding along the LA River here, and that may be Anderson Street. Making a left turn now. Now on surface streets here in Boyle Heights, slowing down a little bit here. We've got exactly 7 or 8, actually 8 LAPD units still in tow here. Most of them are code 3 here as they continue this slower speed pursuit. It's worth mentioning this all started at relatively slow speeds, and eventually he started picking up a little bit more speed. He was getting a little more daring, and now he's doing about speed limits here as he parallels those train tracks going eastbound. Eastbound under the 101 here. We'll see if he comes out the other side. Looks like he's going to make a left turn. There he is. Copy that. Off the freeway, high rate of speed here as he gets off the freeway, now back on surface streets, taking a wild turn there, trying to throw off those LAPD units. We'll see, they should have no problem getting off with him there, but that was a pretty fast move there, trying to hastily get off the freeway and making that right turn. Again, now just south. Just south of the 60s, continuing through surface streets here. Southbound Cesar Chavez making a right turn now onto 1st Street. Approaching a red light here, going around traffic, showing signs of another turn here. LAPD now for the first time right behind him as he comes to a stop for this, what I think, no, he's actually got the green light. Came to a stop at a green light and has now made a left turn. Seems to be zigzagging his way through here, trying to ponder where he wants to take this. Something tells me he may be getting ready to dump the vehicle. Again, remember, this vehicle does not belong to him. It is a stolen vehicle. Heading back towards First Street now. And you can see LAPD once again giving him a lot of room to play with. Nothing stopping LAPD from staying right on his tail here. In fact, you could argue they've even had an opportunity to pit him by now, but we're not seeing anything like that. In fact, they're giving him lots of space as he continues now underneath the freeway. Now, just south of the 10 freeway, LAPD waiting for him at this intersection here as he comes up on a red light, stopped at the red light. If he continues here, we might see a pit maneuver. Traveling eastbound on First Street, making another right turn. These all appear to be random turns as he goes southbound on Chicago and slowing down again. It's now maybe 25 miles per hour we're going here. LAPD once again, you can see with a full pursuit package, possibly preparing for a pit maneuver if the opportunity presents itself. You can see him again slowing down a little bit for that speed bump. Another major intersection here at 4th Street, making a right turn going westbound on 4th. And it looks like he's going to make a northbound turn onto the 5 freeway. Folks pulling over, they hear the sirens, and the suspect now opting once again to get back on the freeway. You had a feeling maybe as he was in those residential areas that he was possibly looking for a place to hide out, dump the vehicle, maybe take a run for it, but in any event, he's decided to get back on the freeway. And, you know, one thing is clear, we're seeing a lot of unpredictability with this suspect. I can tell you that LAPD is trying to kind of get ahead of this. They are making every attempt to kind of predict his next move, but it's really not working. He is a little bit squirrely here. Again, hot and cold, fast and slow, getting on and off at freeways, and now a last-minute lane shift there over the Gore Point, committing to the 5 freeway after getting onto the off-ramp. Now California Highway Patrol possibly getting in position up ahead here. We will see if that handoff takes place. As of right now, LAPD is still the primary agency as they continue this pursuit northbound on the 5 freeway. Northbound 5 passing Main Street, picking up a little bit of steam here as he continues. LAPD putting this in tracking mode now. They have now pulled back a little bit. Once again, another last second change there, getting off at Broadway. He was northbound on the 5, went over the Gore Point there after pulling this move a couple of times now. He's got the red light, went right through the red light, making a left turn there. And he is now traveling westbound. He just went over the 5 freeway there. But a last-minute move there as LAPD tracks this from the air, pulling back a little bit on the ground, still letting him know that that helicopter is right overhead. You can see that night sun shining a light on the suspect as he continues to meander through East LA here. They are looking for an opportunity to re-engage this pursuit, but right now it is technically in tracking mode. California Highway Patrol is monitoring the pursuit. LAPD with a number of options here, but again, unless he establishes some kind of a pattern here, they're going to be a little bit limited. In fact, I have to wonder what the reason is why they haven't been maybe a little bit more aggressive. They have had opportunities to pit him. It appears that they are willing to pit him, but they haven't exactly been in a position for that primary unit to find that open space. Now he is making another turn, another random turn. These are all small streets here on, was that Alameda? What was that? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Believe he's on Alameda. He is now northbound on Avenue 19, all over the paint here. This is a trend as he continues to kind of make these last-second moves. If we widen out just a second, when we have a chance, I think those primary units are once again closing in here. They really do want to re-engage with him. They are making that call at the management level, and LAPD, again, making a careful decision here to once again re-engage with the suspect. So the pursuit is back on, no longer in tracking mode. That primary unit pulling up right behind him, and now he is looking for an opportunity to pit the vehicle. And we might see it right here as he comes around the curve. LAPD along the left rear of the vehicle, waiting for him to slow down just a little bit, but now he's picking up speed. He feels the pressure. The adrenaline is pumping, and LAPD, they might go for it anyways. Look at this primary unit. He's doing about 55 miles per hour, preparing for that pit, and it looks like he might have to back out a little bit at these speeds. We'll see if he tries that pit, but right now it looks like he's going just a little bit too fast here. The driver clearly agitated and now trying to push this to its limits. That is a small, compact Kia, older model, already damaged, and he is going to try and floor it to get away from these officers. That primary officer, though, certainly appears ready and willing to spin this vehicle out once he has the chance. Getting into position once again, that primary unit coming up along the left rear, inches away from a great pit here. We might see another attempt here as he slows down. There goes the pit. Vehicle spinning out of control in the middle of the intersection, and it comes to a complete stop, and officers now slowing down, getting out of their vehicle. Officers with their guns drawn after the suspect has spun out of control. A successful pit at Riverside. The driver stepping out of the vehicle with his hands up, giving it up. It's all over. The surrender is now inevitable as he walks away from officers. They are asking him to stop and put his hands back in the air. He has brought his hands back down, and they are going to treat this very carefully as he may or may not be willing to comply. Again, LAPD with an unknown number of people inside that car. It may, in fact, just be the driver. But right now, we just don't know, and neither do they, so they're going to have to pay close attention to the movements of that suspect and keep a close eye on that vehicle until they can clear this situation and declare a code 4. Right now, it looks like the suspect is on the ground, possibly with his hands behind his back. LAPD with an arrest team approaching the suspect. One group heading straight for that vehicle, the other getting ready to place the handcuffs on this GTA suspect who has enjoyed a pretty wild joyride through the streets of East LA, up and down the freeway, really playing a little bit of cat and mouse with these officers. Finally, the gig was up. The pit maneuver was inevitable, and it was a successful textbook pit at that right here in East LA at Riverside, just off of the freeway. Again, LAPD finally bringing this to a peaceful resolution, and that will do it for our coverage from up here in Air 7. For Ty and Rob, I'm Chris Christie, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.